Definitely jumping into some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Is the wait worth it? What do you think?
So I haven't been able to play it yet.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
You haven't been able to play it yet either.
Well, here's the thing though. I don't have a PS5.
Right.
I don't have a PS5. Right. However, I have stated ad nauseum to my friends that this will be the reason I get a PS5. If I don't get any other game, that is the game I'm gonna get for that PS5 because I have to finish the story. To quote Cody Rhodes, I gotta finish.
Eventually, it's gonna make its way out to other platforms. Eventually, it'll make it out to the PC. Right now, it's PS5 exclusive, but eventually it'll make its way out. It sucks because I am gonna buy a PS5 for this game, and I know that about myself. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's only gonna be for that game, and then it's gonna come out on PC, and then I'm just gonna be looking at it like with mad resentment too, like looking at it like I bought this game because of you bitch, and now you just sitting there. Get out of my house, you non-rent paying. I hate you. You know what I mean?
Strong love-hate relationship for
real. The console thing's not my thing anymore. It used to be, but I'm just like, it's. I don't know. I just feel like it takes up space. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. Let me just say that. I don't feel like it's better. Me personally, after playing on the PC, I prefer it.
Yeah. I think I'm the same way. But so here's my logic when it comes to my gaming laptop, right? It was a point where I had no choice but to get another laptop. And I'm like, if I'm getting a laptop, I'm gonna get me a gaming laptop because I've been talking about this before. Like we and you talked off air about this like a couple years ago, and this desk behind me is actually a gaming computer, desk. But I ended up putting my stuff up there, so this was my opportunity. So I ended up buying this gaming PC, and for the amount of money I did pay for it, I was like, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of this damn thing. So
that's a fact.
Like, it's no need for me to go out there and buy a PlayStation where I know it's cross-plat, and the bitch is gonna be on PC. Exactly, especially at launch. And my thought process a few months ago was that, okay, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated is on Steam. It's there. Like, overly positive reviews, right? I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Rebirth is going to be on PC. I'm like, but let me research this thing first before I even get all excited about this thing. So I researched it. Nah, not going to be on PC. Right. Exclusively on PlayStation. Can't blame Sony for that.
But hold up, that's just for now, though, right? Like, they are talking about it eventually releasing on a PC.
I think so. I think maybe I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake was released initially for PC like at launch time either. So no, it wasn't. I mean, if it's going to come out on PC or when it comes out for PC, I'm pretty sure it's going to have all this bells and whistles all in one. Maybe some added stuff to it. Maybe a Vincent style story or whatever the case may be. But the question is the wait worth it for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
I think the hype is real, bro. I think the hype is real. Yeah, and I really can't wait to play this game. I haven't watched any. I mean, I've watched gameplay like pre-release and everything. I haven't seen any official since. But I mean, after playing the first part of the series, bro, and the way I felt when it ended was every emotion you could feel at one time.
Yes.
Bro, I love that game, bro. That's probably top 3.
Like of all time? Or just in recent memory?
I'd say in recent memory. I'd say that's like top 3 for me. Yo, my man hopped up. He said, all time? He said, "Oh, we about to fuck the rest of the show. We about to have a different conversation for the rest of the show." Man, but I can't wait. And even from beforehand, watching the mechanics, watching the aerial play now, then is 1,000 times better than it was in the first one. That aerial play in the first one was tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was difficult to get the hang of. It was really clunky, and I didn't like that. But it looks like this time they got that really addressed.
Listen, they sauced that up really nice, man. I'm gonna say Rebirth did sauce it up. Whatever smoothing out remake needed, from what I looked at from IGN, because IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, like right out the gate. It gave it like a 9 out of 10, and that was like maybe a few days before release. So, it basically said it smoothed out any rough edges that the combat system had in remake. But I'm gonna tell you, Final Fantasy VII is the sole reason how I got into RPGs in the first place.
Same.
Was the sole reason. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it was definitely the reason. I was emotionally invested in this thing. And for the simple fact that it wasn't no vocal dialogue. It was
for just real. The music, bro. The music was crazy, bro. You felt everything through the music. Even reading the dialogue, you could feel the energy in that just from the music. It was beautiful.
Yes, I was like, okay, all right, I'm feeling this, and it was the music, it was the graphics at that point in time, because 7 came out in '97, if I'm not mistaken, for original PlayStation, and like how it came on, I was like, I've never seen anything like that before. The cinematics, the CGI, like, I distinctly remember going to Walmart. I read a magazine. It was GamePro magazine, and it was Sephiroth and Genova, and he was ripping Genova, like, the statue off, and he was looking at it. On the caption, it says, "Watch your pupils dilate." I don't know what made me geek out just by reading that shit.
but you took you somewhere.
It took me somewhere, right? And I was like, I got to get this game right here. I gotta get it. Right. So, I begged my mom. I was like, well, I ain't really necessarily beg her, but I was like, hey, I need to get this Final Fantasy VII game. I need to get this. This is what I want right here. The cover art,
fire.
Bro, yes, right. So
fire cover art.
Play that thing religiously. Any chance I get. That's probably outside of Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation. Final Fantasy VII is definitely in my top 3 for sure, if not number 1.
Right.
Because it kind of alters itself. But and then here comes now the spin-offs, like Dirge of Cerberus with Vincent, you know, it's kind of
Right.
And then to hear rumors that when the game first came out, it wasn't a complete game. It was supposed to be 4 discs long and not 3, which makes sense because the way 7 ended in the original PlayStation, it left a cliffhanger. Like, yo, are we going to get a sequel? I was so obsessed with this shit. I wrote my own story, like, to the end of that shit.
Did you?
Yes, I wrote my own shit.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I love that games do that for people too. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get caught up, and it's crazy. Like, nostalgia is real, bro.
Yes,
it really takes you back. It lets you. That game right there, I'm with you 100%. That was one that took me to gaming really in general. Like, I played a lot of, before that, I played pretty much exclusively sports games because that's what me and my dad used to play. We used to we used to rent the PlayStation from Blockbuster and then come back and get the MLB game, and we play sports games, and that was my shit, you know?
Yeah.
Madden. And then, like, my first RPG was Final Fantasy VII. And I was like, bro, this is the hardest game I've ever played in my entire life. This shit is raw. Yeah. And like my parents would be like, this shit is weird. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's talking and shit. And I'm like, Dad, you ain't been here. Mom, you ain't been here. This shit is tough. And me and my brother would just sit there and play it. And then that put me on to like Siphon Filter and Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil and a lot of different games. And so
it made you branch out.
It really made me branch out. And this Final Fantasy, and being here now, playing this Final Fantasy with the first episode of it ending the way that it did.
Yes.
It brings, you don't know what you're playing this time. The first time you're like, okay, I'm gonna play the story from the first game. You know what I mean? Yes. It makes sense. Yes. And as you play, you're like, okay, this ain't the same game. And then when it ends, You're just like, bro, I don't know what the fuck is in front of me for this next game. So I'm geeked for that. I'm geeked to not know what's gonna happen in this next game.
See, because it's so many things that I would feel like I want to change, right? Like the way it ended with Aerith and Zack, and I was like, whoa. Did Zack live through this shit? Like, is he alive? Because that would be super, super dope if he lived through that shit, right? And like that just totally turns Final Fantasy VII on its head. Right. And will Aerith live? Like, because that was also a huge turning point. In that second disc, bro, I was heartbroken. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
I was heartbroken. Now, also the little nuance that you could do, you know, Cloud is the name of the character. Tifa, Barrett, you know, Sid, and everybody else. But you can actually change the name to your name or whoever that's in your life or whatever the case may be. So you could change it. And I did that. I literally did that. My main character, Cloud, was me. And whoever, you know what I'm saying?
I did that. Yeah.
So to see that and the golden salsa, bro, I used to hang out the golden salsa all the time. Like the golden salsa, I was like gambling, you know what I'm saying? Racing chocobos, man. Doing the arcade games. Fighting the weapons. Ruby, Emerald weapon. Ruby, that's a motherfucker, boy. I can't stand Ruby weapon, man. Listen, I got beef.
Fuck on it, dog.
I got beef with Ruby Weapon. I hope Ruby Weapon is in this game. Because this motherfucker used to turn you to, he used to stick his tentacles like in the ground and used to pop up behind you. And when it hit you, it turned you into a frog. So now at this point, your 9999 damage turns into 1. And your summons turns into 1 damage. I was like, dang it. Now Tom Berry, stay the hell away from Tom Berry. Like don't fuck with Tom Berry. Don't do that. You know, it's that little green man with that little lantern. Don't fuck with him.
Don't fuck with. He's not the one.
He's not the one. That's a one-shotter right there. That's
one hitter quitter.
He might be cute and cuddly, but don't antagonize him. Don't do that.
Right. I think what I'm most excited about in this is Sephiroth's motivation now, knowing that he was created that way, and saying that he wants to just fight destiny itself, rather than walking through the portal, you know. And it's wild. That to me changes a lot. Aerith for sure, Zack for sure, Sephiroth, I think that's crazy, because who's to say this way that Sephiroth won't end up being on their team? You know what I'm saying? Or who knows?
Yeah, who knows
what's next? You know, and Sephiroth being that dude. To be honest, you know, have you seen Having Children, by the way?
Yes. I mean, I got that like immediately. Like the moment it dropped, day one.
Yeah. So seeing Sephiroth in this way, I think it'll be interesting. I can't wait to play this game.
Because you get to play as him in certain parts of the game. And as you did in the older game, you realize how powerful this man is. Unless you low-key had a Game Shark and you could break through that code where you can play as Sephiroth. But you might break the game. But I like you, I am interested in Sephiroth. Because Sephiroth, by all intents and purposes, is not an evil. He's not a bad guy. He's not a Dio Brando. Just for being bad out of bad sake.
He's got a story too.
He got a story, right? He found out some shit. He went crazy. He was like, yo, you lied to me this whole time. So, you know what? Here's what you get for lying to me. For planting these memories in my head. And he just went on a revenge tour. Like, it was him versus Shinra. So, I very much am interested in his story. I'm interested in Cloud's story. I'm interested if Aerith is going to live through this, or if another character is going to kick the bucket, or if Jenova is actually going to be the ultimate bad person, and you know, or if Sephiroth end up being on the good side. What if he just makes the ultimate sacrifice at the end of it? You know, that super dope. But this is only part 2 though, so There's another part that's coming after this. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait a few years for that. And I know they're still working on it. And who knows? Maybe the next PlayStation will come out. We're gonna have to buy another freaking console so we can play the third part.
That'll be me. This is one of those games that it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the L.
Every time.
Every
time. And you know what? Another game that I was doing that with for a while was Destiny. I just kept taking L's on that over and 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 over again. Yo, it was crazy. Finally I was able to let it go, but that was another one that was just L after L. It was terrible.
At some point, it did have a stranglehold on your boy. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, Destiny did have me for a period, and then I keep jumping off because I couldn't stand the grind. The grind did irritated me.
It was hard.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. It's like now the raids. I really have fun doing the raids, like the raids.
It depends.
And Crucible.
If you got the right people with you,
yeah.
I'm not about jumping in raids with randos, bro. I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
I don't like that shit. But if I'm with like me and you and some people that we know, and we're going in there and we all chopping it up, whoop whoop, and everybody's on the same page, I'm cool with that. But jumping in there with randos is way too frustrating, bro. I'll be wanting to break my shit.
True. And I've talked about going back to Final Fantasy, how Final Fantasy VII opened my mind to RPGs. So shit, if this is an RPG, what other RPGs I can play? I end up playing 1,000 Arms, right? And I'm playing Brave Fencer Musashi, with his action RPG. It's so many RPGs that I have played. Grandia is one of my all-time favorites. Like Grandia and Grandia 2. Played both of those. Grandia is on my Nintendo Switch, and love those turn-based joints. Final Fantasy VIII, and then a lot of people leave praise to Final Fantasy IX. I was like, okay,
to this day, it's dope.
It's dope. It went back to the old school deal, and the Final Fantasy game I want them to remake and just bring it to the forefront is honestly, I feel a lot of people feel this way as well. It's Final Fantasy VI. That is the GOAT. That is the GOAT Final Fantasy, man. Because it has the most playable characters out of any RPG that Final Fantasy had. And then Chrono Trigger, obviously. They need to do a remake of that. But back to Final Fantasy, bro.
Final Fantasy VI, was that? I don't even remember. Was that the one that was on the DS?
No, 6 was on the Super Nintendo. That was So that one broke. How can I say this? Every bit of power Super Nintendo had in itself, Final Fantasy VI brought all of that out. It pushed that SNES to the limit.
Yeah, I didn't play that one.
That is, to me, that's like the best one. But 7 brought me to 6. 7 is the reason why I got into RPGs. And I would never disrespect Final Fantasy 7 in that regard. But as far as the Rebirth is concerned, I already made my mind up. I am definitely copping 9 out of 10 on IGN. Super good. It's definitely a Game of the Year candidate.
No doubt.
Yeah, I ain't even played the damn thing yet, and I don't know that. Square Enix done this deal, man. I mean, all right, what's the most recent? Final Fantasy 16, which was cool, but we didn't want that shit. We wanted Final Fantasy 7. We wanted that over there.
I didn't play 16. I played 14, the online one. That one was cool, that MMO. Yeah. And 15 was my shit, bro. I played the dog shit out of Final Fantasy 15, bro.
Which is on PC.
It is. So, I got that.
Yeah. So, me personally, I got a feeling that Final Fantasy 16 will be on PC at some point, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth will be on PC at some point. But
no doubt.
And I have the deluxe edition of Remake under my TV, and I'm not getting rid of that. I mean, that would really be the reason why I will not get rid of my PlayStation 4. That is the only reason. But obviously, it's on Steam, so I'm gonna keep that deluxe though. I'm gonna keep that deluxe. I ain't get rid of that. Too much money on that. So next story we got is